Hey guys, it's Chris of Mobile Attractions. Tonight I'm going to go ahead and walk you through the install process as well as the trim out process for the 14 through 17 Chevy SS center mount triple gauge pod, as well as the 08 through 9 Pontiac G8 center mount triple gauge pod. For starters, we're going to go ahead and need our gauge pods, whatever size gauges you're going to be running. The holes are pre-drilled for a 2 1/16, so that's what I'm going to be using here. X-Acto knife handle and as many fresh blades as possible, as well as some nice cardboard. I like to use the cardboard from like an old Matchbox car. It's a little bit easier to trim than the corrugated cardboard. Alright, for starters, when installing your triple gauge pod for the G8, you're going to want to remove the dash trim that runs up along the windshield. You can start either the driver's side or the passenger side. You're going to want to pry up from right by the A-pillar and lift. There's about 4 clips there that you can just lift and they'll pop out. And then you're going to do that same for the other side. And then on both sides of the defog vent in the middle, those 2 pieces clip in there. So try to go ahead and pull out the defog vent with those 2 still attached to it all in one piece. At that time, you can go ahead and undo your security light. Then you'll have access to your center speaker. If you just go ahead and grab that from the rear and go ahead and start at one side, you'll be able to pop up, move to the other side, pop up, and then you'll be able to pop up the 2 tabs once you have the 2 rear ones up. Once you have access to that, then we can go ahead and start fitting your G8 pod. For the Chevy SS pod, it's very simple. You're going to want to go ahead and grab your center speaker and the front and just go ahead and pull it up. And then the SS pod has tabs in the front that slide down into place and one that pushes in the rear. Okay, now that we've gone ahead and gone over that, I'm going to go ahead and talk you through how to trim out the pods. They're going to be pre-drilled for the 2 1/16 gauge, and then you just need to go ahead and cut out the vinyl. If you want to go ahead and upsize the gauge, we'll go ahead and walk you through how to do that as well. The materials are made from 060 ABS plastic wrapped in perforated or grain vinyl. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and install our sharp razor blade onto our X-Acto knife handle and go ahead and start working with the G8 pod. Alright, the vinyl material here is really thin. As you can see, I already cut out these 2, and I got this one started on this side. What you're going to want to do is take your razor blade, pop through right along the ABS plastic, and just go ahead and ride that edge around like so. Once you've removed the material, you'll be able to go ahead and take your gauge, slide it right into place, and install your brackets from the rear. Right, and you'll also notice that once you go ahead and you get your gauges installed, the part itself actually becomes a lot more rigid, and you lose a lot of that flex. Okay, once you have your gauges in for the G8 pod, we're going to go ahead and take this front lip and install it under the front of your dash. And go ahead and set the rear down. You'll notice this lip back here is going to sit just on the opposite side of the frame for your center speaker and just under the AC vent for the defog. Once you have this sitting flush down inside, you can go ahead and install your defog vent, which will go ahead and fit right over the edge of this to hold the rear down, and then your front's going to be sitting down underneath the dash. And then you can go ahead and reinstall your sides for the dash trim. Now for the people that are wanting to go ahead and upsize their gauges, we're going to go ahead and use a piece of cardboard. Like I said, I like to use something that's very easy to work with. You can also use construction paper. Today I'll be working with an old Matchbox cardboard. Once you have your cardboard, you're going to go ahead and take your gauge, put it face down, and we're going to go ahead and use a permanent marker to trace the outside of the gauge. to go ahead and make a template. A lot of your gauges may actually come with a template. If they do, you can just go ahead and use that. But today I'm going to go ahead and make one. Alright, now that I have my outer perimeter traced, I'm going to go ahead and take a look at the depth of the bezel. I'm going to know that my hole needs to be that much smaller. So I'm going to go ahead and trace a second line around the outside of my original circle. This doesn't have to be perfect. We can go ahead and make some adjustments once we get it trimmed out. Alright, now that we have the bezel traced out here, we're going to go ahead and cut the inner perimeter, which will signify the diameter of your bezel, or your gauge, sorry. Alright, now that we've cut this out, go ahead and do away with that. And we're going to test this around our gauge. Alright, you can see we have a nice snug fit. So this is the size hole we want to translate over to our gauge pod. Now we have our holes cut out and we can see where the center is. We're going to go ahead and take our new template and place it over that so we can see exactly how much more we need to take off. I have some real bad lighting here. I'm going to go ahead and switch over to the red one. Remember, we want to cut out the hole first. So you'll go ahead and you'll center this over the hole, and then go ahead and take a Sharpie and trace this hole onto the gauge pod, and then you're going to cut just deep enough to slice through the material. Once you've done that, you'll go ahead and peel the outer perimeter off around your hole. So you'd remove that. Then once you see the plastic is thin enough to go ahead and take a fresh blade and just go ahead and trim around that side there, just like a can opener, to widen that hole to fit the proper size gauge. If you guys have any more questions, feel free to go ahead and contact me on Facebook. My name is Christopher Nem, or you can contact Joe LaBruza. Our office number is also 727-557-6771. Once again, that's 727-557-6771. My name is Christopher Nem, and I can go ahead and walk you through any assistance that you may need. Thank you.